I am here today not because I want to be. I am terrified. I am here because I believe it is my civic duty to tell you what happened to me while Brett Kavanaugh and I were in high school.
I was not at the party described by Dr. Ford.
Brett's assault on me drastically altered my life. For a very long time, I was too afraid and ashamed to tell anyone these details. I did not want to tell my parents that I, at age 15, was in a house without any parents present, drinking beer with boys.
The drinking age was 18 in Maryland for most of my time in high school and was 18 in D.C. for all of my time in high school. I drank beer with my friends. Almost everyone did. Sometimes I had too many beers. Sometimes others did. I liked beer.
Based on the advice of the council, I was happy to undergo the polygraph test, although I found it extremely stressful.
I'm not questioning that Dr. Ford may have been sexually assaulted by some person in some place at some time. But I have never done this to her or to anyone.
I don't have all the answers, and I don't remember as much as I would like to. But the details about that night that bring me here today are the ones I will never forget. They have been seared into my memory and have haunted me episodically as an adult.
This confirmation process has become a national disgrace. You have replaced advice and consent with search and destroy. I demanded a hearing for the very next day. Unfortunately, it took the committee 10 days to get to this hearing.
Extraordinary. Our Kevin Cirilli is living this in Washington with Margaret Tlaib over at the White House and other Bloomberg reporters. Kevin, just an open question on this Friday. Your thoughts of what we observed yesterday?
Gut-wrenching, for lack of a better word. I mean, that's the only word that I kept coming back to. I mean, this was unlike any other hearing that has happened in recent memory in the Senate. You know, the obvious parallel, Anita Hill. Look, there's going to be a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing vote to move this confirmation process along. That vote is scheduled to take place at 9:30 a.m. today. Take a listen to what Republicans are saying. A key moment yesterday from Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina.
To my Republican colleagues, if you vote no, you're legitimizing the most despicable thing I have seen in my time in politics. You want this seat? I hope you never get it. I hope you're on the Supreme Court. That's exactly where you should be. And I hope that the American people will see through this charade.
Democrats have argued that there ought to be FBI investigations, that this process ought to be slowed down for the FBI to look into this. The Republicans have said that is not the case, that he's been vetted already. Senate Judiciary Committee Chuck Grassley, as well as the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, again moving forward with this process. Unknowns right now where some of these centrists and even some centrist Democrats where they will vote on this.
Kevin, give us a window into how these senators, and I'll select the senator from Alaska randomly, maybe the senator from Arizona, maybe the senator from the Philadelphia Eagles, how will they come to this decision before the 9:30 meetings today?
Well, it's going to be, so the first vote in terms of just the committee vote at 9:30 is just whether or not to move this along to a floor vote. It is not the final vote. It's just the first step. Now, the only really swing vote in terms of who's voting at 9:30 is retiring Senator Jeff Flake, a Republican from Arizona. And by all accounts, according to my reporting, I can tell you there's an infinite amount of pressure coming from the right on him to move this along to the floor. Now, last night, reportedly, Senators Murkowski of Alaska, Flake of Arizona, Collins of Maine, as well as Manchin of West Virginia, who's a Democrat, mind you, huddled together prior to the Senate Republican conference meeting about this process. The president, his tweet just moments after the wrapping of this hearing, in which he backed again Judge Kavanaugh, was seen as a massive sign of an endorsement for Judge Kavanaugh, in which he has reiterated, according to his tweet, that this is a quote-unquote search and destroy strategy, is a disgrace, and the process has been a total sham, an effort to delay, obstruct, and resist. The Senate must vote. The vote could come as early as next week. And again, you just have to note here the intense pressure and the backdrop of the Me Too movement really playing over this entire hearing.